Hello, 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 everyone, and welcome to the Fear to Freedom Project. I'm so happy today. This is a great day. Listen, because I'm in my second home in San Carlos, Panama, and even though it's rainy season and we got overcast here, it's just beautiful to me. I love to hear the water on the ocean just sprinkling down, and then I am interviewing a special guest, Miss Marsha Quarles, who is a librarian for close to 4 decades. Okay? Four
Yes.
decades. Welcome to my show. Thank you for coming, beautiful.
Thank
How
you
are
for
you?
having me. I'm excited to be here. And my blue wall just kind of reminds you of the sea. So I have a
Yes, it does. It's
fake
all
ocean
right
behind
there.
me.
Oh my gosh, you got so much beautiful energy, and thank you for accepting my invitation. I know your brother, and he let me know that his sister was a librarian, and I'm gonna let the audience know that reading was a way that I was able to escape. I was not very good in math, and not it was probably a choice, but I really loved to read, and my librarian was very impactful in my life. She lived on the block. And from Washington D.C., so she lived right down the hill, and she made reading fun, and she encouraged it. And I knew her up until the time she made her transition in her 90s. And so I was so honored to have you to come here, to like someone that's been a librarian for like 4 decades. That's huge. That is
That's a
so huge.
long time. I know, right?
It's such a long time. My goodness. But yeah, so I got questions. I want to read your bio so
Sure,
that the
sure.
audience will know. And listen, before you get started, if this is your first time to my channel, just like and subscribe it. Come back. I know you will enjoy. There are a cadre of videos there. And if you are a returning champion, thank you so much to the family. I appreciate you. So I'm going to read the bio today. Okay, we have a true library legend with nearly 4 decades of dedicated service, starting her career at Hillcrest Heights branch of PG County in 1985. Man, I just had graduated high school. I just gone to Hampton University. She's quickly developed a passion for programming and literacy. Over the years, she's created countless impactful programs for all ages, even presenting a memorable story to former First Lady Barbara Bush for shaping young minds at the Oxon Hill. From shaping young minds at the Oxon Hill branch to taking the helm as a program specialist. Her work has left a lasting impact. Now, as a public services librarian at Surratts Clinton branch, she's continuing her mission to inspire and connect communities. We just welcome you so much, Miss Marsha
Thank you so much
Quarles.
for having me.
Yes, we thank you for service. We love you. Thank you
Yes.
so much. So, what made you start? What? How did you become like? You know, you're going to be a librarian if you're there for 40 years. So you got to know that. How did you know?
You didn't, you don't, because I got my degree in psychology from Bowie State University, but I've always read. The one thing my mother did with my brother will probably tell you is that her love of reading was like legendary. And I apologize for the phone. Legendary. And she
Mhm.
always encouraged us to read anything. She never ever restricted us from reading what we wanted to do. There was no censorship. And
Mm,
so I've always read. Started reading when I was 4. I was one of those kids that really did read when they
yeah.
were 4 years old. And I just never stopped. And so when I turned about 19, I just new branch kind of opened up down the street. I just went and applied for a job. And once I got in there at 19, I never left. And I just kept moving up and moving up. So it wasn't
Mm,
anything that I was planned. I actually thought I was just going to be in the position for 5 years. Like you said, you know how you say, I'm
mhm.
only going to be here for a little bit of time.
Yes, yes,
But
yes.
but you never really do, because what librarianship did for me is that it gave me a whole diverse career. People think that being a librarian is that you just stay in a library and you read all day. That is so not true. We are out in the public. We are doing so many programming. We're in the schools. Like we're
Yeah.
you can give our job title, like we're babysitters, we're teachers,
Mhm.
we're mothers, we're fathers. We are so much to the community. And it just, I just loved it so much that I never left because I was able to do a whole lot of varied things. And I didn't stay in the branch. I was always out of the branch doing things in the community. So that's one of the reasons why I stayed for so long.
Well, what's been your most rewarding like experience out of those 4 decades? What's been the most rewarding for you?
It's the babies. I am a children's librarian at heart. So I am the storytime lady. So I actually do storytime training for the babies, for 3 to 5 year olds. But I've been doing like story times for infants. Like we just had a story time today for our 3 to 5 year old, 2 to 3 year olds. But last week, when our babies came, we do story times for infants. So we encourage you to start reading to your children at birth when they're in the womb and when they come out and to continue. But it's the children that keep me coming back. I absolutely love the age group from 0 to 5, the birth to 5, that early literacy um, readers, because I really truly, truly believe that when you start them really young reading, that they will become life learned readers and they will have a whole knowledge of learning. And I see it time and time again when, believe it or not, some of these babies have come back. I just saw one with their babies. And so you are creating lifelong readers and learners. And that's what I think my job is, what I love the best about my job. People say that Black kids aren't reading. Our Black children are reading. They may not be reading in the traditional way that we did because they have so many different avenues to read now. So they're reading ebooks, they're reading graphic novels, they're just reading differently, but they're still reading. And
yes, they're reading.
I'm gonna tell you,
kids read.
They read, and when I tell you, we just had 150 people at. I mean, I am not exaggerating. At one of our last story times last week, I am not exaggerating. It
Oh,
was
really?
summertime.
That's good.
I'm not kidding you. It was story time in the summer, so you get these big crowds, and the crowds will thin out later on, like they've thinned out already starting now. But you can see how much parents love the library, and they bring their kids in here because libraries are not just for reading anymore. They're not even quiet anymore. You go in the library and it'd be like noises, I don't know what.
Oh, really?
Libraries are designed to be interactive spaces now, and they're more of a community hub because you can go, there's study rooms, there's meeting rooms. We have a lighthouse in this particular one. There's a dinosaur exhibit in another library. There's trees to climb. There's echo chambers.
I was going to ask you, how have you seen that role? Like, how has it changed? I mean, that was.
Yeah, when I was a little girl, I rode on a bookmobile, so I didn't even have a library right in my community. Right. We had to drive all over the place to find them, but I got on a bookmobile, and my brother and his friend used to check out like 60 books at a time. So we only had the bookmobiles until they started bringing libraries. I am very fortunate in Maryland. Maryland is a wonderful place for libraries, and Prince George's County has 19 branches, and so there's all kinds of places. There's a library for every community, and we're working really hard to reach those people who don't necessarily come into the library. But we are a library without walls. You don't have to come in a library to get a book. You have your apps, you e-reading. You can even take the book home and check it out when you get there. And when but we don't have any library finds. Libraries have changed. Libraries have changed so much. Remember they used to shush you in the library when you came in? Everybody has this stern, this vision of a librarian with their hair all up and things like that. No, we got tattoos, we got piercing. We look like everyone else, but we are out there promoting reading all the time. So it's the baby.
I love that it has changed. Of course, we need to continue to grow and expand ourselves. Do you feel like those changes since COVID, how has it changed? So you the evolution of it, but how has it changed since COVID? That was a mass reset for the world. Yeah. What changed?
COVID changed everything. We used to have so much foot traffic. This is the difference. People came in here. So here's an example. One branch I worked at, I'll call it, the South Bowie branch. I worked there for 10 years. And we would average, give or take, 20,000 people a month, literally, would come into this particular one little small, medium-sized branch. Since COVID, we're getting about 7,000 to 8,000 people a month, roughly. So the amount of people that have come in have changed, but they're still reading, but they're doing a lot
Yeah,
of
but you
reading
think
through
it's
ebooks.
but technology has helped that though, don't you think?
Yes, definitely.
Okay.
That's what I'm saying. Is we've transitioned into e-reading, e-listening. So they're not
Mm-hmm.
necessarily coming in and checking out the physical book.
Mm-hmm.
They're taking things out electronically. We don't have magazines. Those are
Well, I think that's
electronic.
great though. I think
I have
that's good, Marsha.
magazines, newspapers, I have
Yeah.
encyclopedias, everything like that is online. So
Yeah, well, it gives the
we've
people
had to
more
do.
access.
Yeah, it does. It does in a
Yeah.
way. Some people we're still trying to find that digital divide because there is that community
There. Yeah.
that does not have access. And so we're
Yeah.
always finding ways to give them access
Mhm.
to the library. That's why we have the apps now where your library's on the go. But
Mhm.
since COVID, we don't have the foot traffic that we used to have. And
Mhm.
we're not buying as many print items, but
Mhm.
we are still buying the
Digital.
materials in ebook form. That if I
Yes,
can make
digital
that make sense.
downloads. That's helpful.
Yes, yes,
That gives people more access. I really like that. I
yes,
mean, we
yes,
have to as um as a planet, we have to evolve and we have to
yes,
expand and
yes,
grow. We cannot stay the same. So that's beautiful. I'm
yes.
glad. I'm glad
That's
for
what's
that.
happening in libraries now. We are constantly growing, and with the community, we are not stagnant. That's what I'm saying. We are a community hub. And more
Mhm.
people probably use us for event spaces than they are certain branches and checking out books. More people use us for computers because one branch can have like 60 to 70 computers. We have
Mhm.
lawyers that come in the library now. We have health professionals that come in the library now to help you out. We are a service to the community, and one of the things we do when we go out, we're constantly, telling people what we have. Like we
Mhm.
have free online tutoring. Like you can go online at 2 o'clock and free tutoring is available until 11:55 at night. All you have to do is go online to one of our resources called Brain Fuse, and you can get a free tutor. And I'm talking math, science, reading. You,
Anyone. You don't have to be a
anyone, you
pediatrician.
have to just have a library card. You have
Listen
to have
to
a
me,
library
people.
card.
Did you all hear that? Wait a
You
minute.
have a
Let me
library
highlight you.
card.
I want you to say that one more
Library
time.
card.
What can you
You
do?
you can get a free library card and come on to our website and get a free tutor. And a tutor will help you in English and math and reading and goes all the way up from like third grade all the way up to college. So you can get help with algebra. You can get help with calculus. You can get help with a free tutor at our Brain Fuse site. It's an online resource called Brain Fuse. And once
Yeah.
you sign on with your library card, you have access to a free tutor. People come in all the time, like, ask us if we have a tutor. We don't tutor you. There's only so much we can do. We don't tutor you, and we can't even tell you the tutors and where they are because it's like
Mhm.
a business, their business, and we don't promote anyone's business. But we can offer you Brain Fuse, and we do it all the time. So
I love that.
we have online language sites where you can learn how to speak Japanese, Russian,
Yes,
Spanish,
I'm practicing my Spanish
80
every
different
day.
languages.
Todos
Yeah,
los
we have it.
dios. Every
Yes.
day I practice.
And we have Mango on the go. We have these apps that you can get. We have ABC Mouse that we buy. The library system has bought ABC Mouse. So that our early literacy children, those babies can go on ABC Mouse and practice their reading and math skills. So the library is free, guys. We have stuff.
Free,
Yes,
free.com.
free
You
resources.
can get so many resources here. Thank you for that. Yeah, this is my goal was, and I still am very passionate about removing barriers to any service, anything. There should not be any barriers to
Nothing.
anyone to learn, to read, to get health care, things like that matter, that pours into us, right?
Yes,
We
that's
are
what
the
we
one.
do. We don't
Yeah,
know
we are.
everything. We're really smart, but we don't know everything. But we can get you the
No.
resource. We can find the resource for you.
Yes,
That's what we're trained to
resources.
do. We can find you the resources, and we're checking Google just like you are. But there are there's a
Mm.
way to check Google that we know how to do that other people may not necessarily know how to do. So we can help you with that. And we are helping our seniors. We have senior classes. So they can come in and learn computers because some of our seniors don't always know how to do the
Yeah,
emails. They don't know how to
yes.
how to print, how to do things that we all know. So we have classes for our seniors. We have knitting classes. crocheting classes.
Good, good. You're
Afternoon
pointing to the
crafts. We do
community.
STEM. We
Yes.
do STEM, Deborah. We do STEM for the babies and for our for
Ugh.
our children. We do science projects, guys, like real science. We don't blow anything up, but we
Go
do.
to the library, y'all. Go sit in the library. Listen,
And
just
it's
hang out there.
free line dancing classes. We had spades class, karaoke. The library
Wow.
system does a whole lot because we're trying to bring people in and give them a safe space to have fun and to enjoy some of these programs. And we will come to you. We'll come to your schools. We'll come to your daycare. We will come to you. We do programming down at the National Harbor. If you've been to the DC area, you know that the National Harbor is almost like the Baltimore Harbor. It's like this big hub of businesses and restaurants and things like that. We're at the National Harbor on their stage, and we're out there promoting reading, and we're dancing and we're singing and we're, reading to hundreds of kids.
And it's at the beautiful harbor. You know what you said? I'm going to tell you, this is going to be funny. You said my mom, allowed us to read anything. There was no barrier to what you could read.
Nothing.
You know what I used to read? I think I read every Donald Goins book. Donald Goins. You know Donald Goins, don't you?
Yeah.
I read every one of his books.
Yes.
And it was all about, everything in the street. Pimps, prostitutes, drugs. And you know what? But he was an amazing writer, though. I read all of his books in high school.
It's the same thing when kids were reading the Zane books. When Zane came out with all of her romance books, and then our teenagers reading those books. But you know what? It's life. And so, parents, encourage parents to pay attention to what their kids are reading. And I would have to tell their parents, just letting you know that your child is checking out Zane. Yeah, they can read it, but I wanted you to know that they are reading it just so you can know what your child is reading. But if that's their interest, I say let them read it. I don't censor. So if parents can do what they want, but I was never censored, and I don't censor the readers, and especially with our teens, because they're going to find a way to get to it anyway. So
because I did.
Yeah.
I read one. I had to, my mother had to know. Where did I get it was like the whole line of Donald Goins, like all of them. I think I found them. They were great to me.
See, mine was romances back then, because it wasn't nothing else but the holiday romance. But you know what my mother did? She bought me a whole subscription to them. So I read they were like racy back when I was a little girl. But I read.
You know what? It's funny because I was reading those books, and of course I'm a social worker, retired social worker, but I was thinking about how I could help the people in the books.
Yep.
That's funny.
Yes.
I really was. I was like, wow, like I just had compassion for the people that were in the books. I'm like, I can help this person. Then,
This is finding lessons and learnings through what you're reading and processing processing what's good for you that you can do. That's why she never censored us. And another thing my mom did for us too is that if there was something that we were interested in knowing, she didn't have money for the other stuff, but she would buy us a book. So if I wanted to learn something about nursing, she would go out. She would actually went out and bought me this huge nursing book. She would let me know that I would never want to look at nursing stuff because this book was full of guts and stuff. And I was like, okay, I would never be a nurse because this book is showing way too much. But she did. She immersed us in the experience. So if we were doing a project on Mexico, we would not only have the books, we would cook the food, which is where the love of cooking comes with my brother. But she would either cook the food and take us to the embassy so we can have the whole experience. So these are the kind of life lessons I learned from my mom, which I've taken with me while I'm out here in the community and out here doing this promoting reading for kids. I just did story time for babies. I was like a mess today. That's why I look like this today.
You look so beautiful.
Oh my God, it was crazy. We just did a story time on imagination, and I just had a big box, and I just let the kids imagine what the box is. So the librarians and libraries are for everyone, and I cannot stress enough to bring those littlest ones into the branches, because you are creating lifelong readers, and they will bring their children back. You may lose them a little bit when they become that I like to call them like emerging adults, but they will find their way back with their children because they're going to remember their experience. That's why I treat everyone with kindness and with love when they come into this branch, because I want them to leave with a really great experience. And it starts with the children because they're going to remember their experiences.
Hmm. What was the experience like creating programming or do a story time with Barbara Bush? How were you
Oh my
selected?
gosh. It was
Yes.
actually amazing because I was always that person who said, I'll do it. I'll do it. And so they asked a
Okay.
few people and they were like, oh my gosh, no, I'm not gonna. I was like, I'll do it. She's just a person like me. And
Yes.
so when she came in, she was actually very pretty and very gracious. And I did a story. She was involved. She clapped when the story was over. She talked to the kids. And I did this really interactive song where you have to shake your body, move your arms, tweak your butt, do all kinds of stuff.
Mhm.
And she did everything. And when it came to, moving your backside, she laughed with that. She put her hands down and said, oh, no, I can't do that because I'm on camera. And afterwards, she gave me a great big hug, gave me pictures.
Oh,
We laughed through the whole thing because she was she loved reading. That's why she was there, because they chose a library and children. And it was the best experience with her. So it
yeah.
just comes to show you that it doesn't matter what your politics are, who you are.
Yes. No. That.
Meeting brings you together. And I like to tell people
Yes.
that she is so different from the rest of us, but on that
Mhm.
particular day, she was not different from me because we
Yeah.
shared
Well,
our.
we're all the same. We
We are.
separate ourselves. We do that. That has nothing to do with politics or anything like that. We separate ourselves. It is my passion to say that we are all one family. We come from the same divine source. And so, yeah, that proves it. I'm glad that you were
We
able to.
do. And we've had, and when I like to say, we've had the authors of the day. So not only with the children, we've had all kinds of meet the author programs. So I've met people like back when Terry McMillan was not big until she got
Oh, she came
big.
there?
Oh,
Okay.
Terry McMillan came to our branch like 3 times. Like she was here
Oh, good.
3 times with her husband. So we've met that we Patty LaBelle. I mean, I'm trying to think of the authors right off the top of my head because there's so many of them that come that came. There were so many authors coming
Mm.
because when they come through, like they have like authors do a cycle, so they'll go through different states. They will go through
Mm-hmm.
Baltimore, they'll go to DC, and then they will come through Prince George's County. And so we got an opportunity to meet so many fabulous authors as well. We still work with Mahogany Books. If you haven't been gone down to the harbor again, in National Harbor, they have
Mahogany
a
book.
wonderful books there at Mahogany Books. So I know the owners there, and they've come in and they've done programs for us. They bring authors in with us, and we have this great partnership with them. So we have a lot going on for our adults as well. So yeah, check
Well,
out
let
our.
me ask you, what are you reading? Are you reading anything right now?
I am on 3 book committees. So right now I am reading nothing but children's books. I'm reading
Really?
like,
Okay.
yeah, and it's really good because I'm at this stage now I just want to blank out. And so the picture books is what I'm reading right now because I have to read like 100 of them. It's like a whole lot of them. So I'm out of my brain space right now. I'm not reading a whole
Who's
lot
your
of.
favorite author? Do you have a favorite
That's
author?
hard to say. I don't have
Oh
a favorite
gosh, isn't
author
it
because
hard
I
to
love
say?
so many of them.
I know.
Yeah. I mean, because
I can't.
I love people like Daniel Stills from J. California Cooper to Terry McMillan to I don't read as many of the authors today. I
Mm,
like I like to read some of the older authors. And I read a lot of romance because I like the happy ever after. So there's so
mm,
much going on in life. There's so much stuff happening in real life that I like
mhm.
the pretense that everything is going to be
I read a
okay.
lot of spiritual books. I love Wayne Dyer. I
Yeah.
used to I used to go kind of far over my head, but now I can read Deepak and
Yeah.
Course in
Yeah.
Miracles. I like stuff like that. I read, yeah, yeah. It
I'm
helps
children's
me.
books right now. Yeah.
Yes, you are children's books. Well, good for you. Tell me something. What is I mean, you told me the most memorable. You told me all of the things that inspire you and what makes you such an amazing librarian. But what's your Achilles heels? What is it? What pains you about being
Um,
a librarian over this time?
it's just sometimes I do worry about the digital divide that we're not reaching everybody. We're probably the only institution that see the very, very poor to the the people who have a lot of money. So we basically see every economic group from the bottom to the top. So it's some of
Mhm.
these people that, because we do in our libraries, we do have homeless people that come in. We just,
Mhm.
you know, we have children. You children that need more. So it sometimes it does pain me. I'm not sure if I'm always doing enough when I encounter some of these situations. And so that would be the only thing, is to make sure that we're reaching the people who really need us the most. That's why we do a
Mhm.
lot of going out and reaching out and doing a lot of outreach, because we are trying to get to the schools that are, where some of the kids may need a little bit more. So we give away books.
Mhm.
Um,
Mhm.
we just, we talk a lot about books. We talk about life. That would probably be the one thing. Because and also in the library, everything that happens outside in the world, because we
Mhm.
are a public institution, it happens inside the library. So you're
Oh,
gonna, oh yeah. So you're gonna need. So I
yeah.
always tell parents, always tell them, no, if you're gonna leave your child here, you're gonna leave your child here at your own risk, because there are
Yeah,
things and
yeah.
people who come into the library who are predators, and you have to be careful about who you
Okay.
leaving your child around. So
Yeah.
that would be the only thing that I can think of, is just
Okay.
knowing that the outside world, everything that you see on television can come into your library. So you have to be aware of your surroundings and make sure that your children are safe, for one thing. And just the digital divide, it worries me sometimes that I see the children that come in with their cell phones and matching their book bag, and they have their iPad over here, but I also see the
Mhm.
children who don't have anything, who are coming, to some of our food programs, because we feed children in the summertime, summer
Mhm.
meals programs, so that children can still eat during the summertime. So you can see the need in the community. So those are the
Is this
those are
the
the
library in
things.
Clinton where you are now?
Everywhere.
Okay,
This is
so all of
everywhere. This
them.
is this is
Okay,
all the
great.
branches. So we have certain branches that actually have the summer meals program, but in every branch in Prince George's County has a very different and unique community. And so it's what's here happening in Clinton is not necessarily what's going to happen in Hyattsville, or what's going to happen
Yeah.
in Laurel, or what's going to happen in Glenarden, or what's going to happen,
But it's
somewhere
the same
else, because
services
each
are
one
offered though.
say it again.
But the same services are offered,
All
correct?
the same services are offered to
That's
everybody.
good.
We are similar, but we are different. We do kind of fine tune ourselves to our communities, but we do offer the same services to the whole broader community. So we do try to be, central services like that. So
Mm-hmm.
I don't know.
What do you want people to know? What do you want people to know right now
I
about
want I,
reading? Yeah.
I want people to know that you can read anything, because reading is an escape. And to pick up a book, either to listen to a book, or to read it on your computer or on your iPad, or to have the physical book, and to just immerse yourself in reading, because reading is a great way to not only to gain knowledge, because you can pick up an informational book, a nonfiction book, or you can read like me and do a romance, or you can read anything you want. The library has pretty much every topic, everything. And if we don't have it here in Prince George's County, we will get it for you in the state of Maryland. If we don't have it in the state of Maryland, we would get it for you from anywhere in the country. So that's why we have access to books. So we want you to know to use us, to use our services, and to take a look at our online resources, because you have so many free resources for you. This is all for you. We're here as servants to help you have access to all of this wonderful knowledge. So we want you to use us.
I appreciate that. Yes. You have to use the library. If you are just tuning in, this is Miss Marsha Quarles. She is a librarian of 4 decades. Four. Okay. That is
Yes, yes.
dedication. That is dedication to the community. She's been nurturing literacy all through the years, and we are so thankful for your service. I am. It touched my heart when I found you were a librarian. I'm like, I want to interview her. I mean, if I was there, I'd jump all over you and hug you. I really would.
Give you
Yes,
some virtual hugs. I am a hugger too.
yes,
So
because it was just really an escape for me. I mean, books I read all the time. So I would like to thank you so much for joining us. But before we go, I always ask my guests, what are you most excited about in life right now, today? What
Girl,
are
I
you
am
most
excited to be alive, and I am not kidding. I am excited because I'm almost 62. I'm 61 now, and so when you get this age, you start looking at what you've done and what you have, how much time you have left. And so I'm thinking about all the wonderful things that I've had. I have a beautiful daughter, I have an awesome rambunctious 3-year-old grandson. I have a
Oh,
fantastic
yes.
husband of 37 years. So my life has been great. So I don't have any complaints at all. So I'm just excited, but I am excited to just be alive because so many people. Frankie Beverly just passed away. Come on, guys.
I
We need
did
to
not
take
know
yes,
that.
Frankie Beverly.
Are
Yes. So
you
like,
serious? Frankie
I'm not
Beverly is not
kidding.
here?
Yes, yes. So that when you think about, some of these people that you grew up with because they're like your friends, like, you feel like you know them, you realize that life is short. So I am happy to be alive, and I'm going to take this time to take care of me, my body, my mind, and to live the rest of my life because we don't know how much time we have left. So forget all this petty stuff, forget all this crazy stuff, and just live your life and do something true for yourself and take care of you. So that's what I'm going to be working on.
Well, I love that. You are absolutely right. It is amazing wisdom for us all. I am too happy to be alive. I really am. I had to think about that. I'm having a birthday on Monday, and I thought about, what am I so excited about? And it is just to be living,
Yes, I am.
to be existing.
Mhm.
And so I totally agree with that. Well, thank you so much, Miss Marsha. You beautiful
Thank
sister.
you for
You
having me.
Yes, yes, yes. No barriers. I know we had a little hiccup there, but I was determined
Okay.
to have you here. It's just really such an honor. I thank you for your service. I know that you weren't directly my librarian, but your service has impacted so many, and I just want you to know that I'm grateful for that.
Thank
Thank
you
you.
so much, Deborah. It has been a pleasure to be here with you. So thank you for having me.
You're welcome. All right, ladies and gentlemen, that's it. It's a wrap for us. You heard it right here at the Theater Freedom Project. I love you. If you are new, like and subscribe to the channel. We have lots of things going on here at the Theater Freedom Project. And if you are a returning champion family, thank you so much. I love you. Peace and love to you from San Carlos, Panama.